Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Qin Shi Huang, one of the most renowned political figures and reformers in Chinese history, achieved the great feat of unifying China. He was also the first monarch in ancient China to declare himself emperor. Despite calling himself the first emperor, it is curious that he never established an empress during his lifetime. And even in his mausoleum, there is no tomb designated for an empress. In fact, Qin Shi Huang's harem was not lacking in beautiful concubines, and he had many sons. According to historical records, Qin Shi Huang had 23 sons in total. So why did such a great emperor, who had many offspring, never establish an empress? This question still remains unanswered, becoming a historical mystery that has sparked various speculations and discussions over the years. According to relevant historians, Qin Shi Huang was the first emperor of China, but the first empress was Liu Ji. After consulting historical texts and reviewing almost all available records, no mention can be found of who Qin Shi Huang's empress was. This is truly puzzling. How could Qin Shi Huang have never appointed an empress? As a result, the title of the first empress naturally fell to Liu Ji. Liu Ji was the empress of Liu Bang, the first emperor of the Han dynasty. Although Liu Bang was not the first emperor of China, his wife became the first empress, making him somewhat lucky by association. Historical records show that the Qin state had a tradition of appointing a queen consort, such as the wife of King Huiwen of Qin, who was the mother of King Wu of Qin, the wife of King Wu of Qin, who was from the state of Wei, the wife of King Zhaoxiang of Qin, who was from the Chu royal family, the wife of King Xiaowen of Qin, who was a woman from Chu named Huayang, and the wife of King Zhuangxiang of Qin, Zhao Ji, from the state of Zhao. From the time of King Huiwen of Qin, every ruler of Qin had a queen consort. As a descendant of King Huiwen, Qin Shi Huang should have followed this tradition and established an empress. However, historical records make no mention of Qin Shi Huang's empress, leading to the question, why didn't Qin Shi Huang appoint an empress? One possible reason lies in the influence of the Zhao Ji, Liu Buwei, and Laoai affair. This event might have been the most difficult part of Qin Shi Huang's life to discuss and remains a shadow in his history. Qin Shi Huang's mother, Zhao Ji, had once been a singing girl in Liu Buwei's household and was later given to Qin Shi Huang's father, Ying. After Ying ascended the throne, he made Zhao Ji his queen, but he died young, at the age of 35, leaving Qin Shi Huang to inherit the throne when he was only 13. At this point, the young Zhao Ji had already become the powerful Empress Dowager, holding immense power. Her youth and influence led her to form a new connection with Liu Buwei. Since Liu Buwei was old and frail, he introduced her to the young and strong Laoai. Laoai not only satisfied Zhao Ji's desires, but they even had 2 sons together. This action was intolerable to Qin Shi Huang, as it was not only a betrayal of his father Ying but also a threat to his own throne. Once Qin Shi Huang took control, he immediately took severe action, executing Laoai by dismemberment and having the 2 sons born from Zhao Ji and Laoai thrown to their deaths. More importantly, Liu Buwei was expelled from the capital. Through these decisive actions, Qin Shi Huang consolidated his throne, but he also developed a deep aversion to the role of the empress. The shadow of this event profoundly impacted Qin Shi Huang, especially in his mind, where the role of the empress was closely tied to power struggles and personal entanglements. Considering the palace intrigues and power struggles throughout history, Qin Shi Huang likely chose not to appoint an empress to avoid repeating the same mistakes and to prevent similar scandals or challenges to his power. He may have even believed that appointing an empress could lead to inevitable power struggles for future rulers, causing unavoidable political instability. Next is the influence of the Chuorgenmi family and the power of the Empress family. The power of the Empress family was most prominent in Chinese history during the Han dynasty, but it began to emerge as early as the pre-Qin period. During the Warring States period, many states engaged in intermarriage, and many queens and empresses were daughters of other states. When these daughters became the empresses of a state, their relatives from their home countries naturally became part of the empress family. Their power was often sufficient to influence state affairs. A typical example of this is Empress Dowager Cixi. She was originally from the Mi family of the Chu state, and after becoming Empress Dowager, she not only held great power but also made her family occupy an important position in the political scene of the Qin state. She treated her son, Ying, as a puppet and helped her own brother, Marquis Wei Ran, and others such as Prince Mi Rong, to gradually allow the Mi family of Chu to take control of Qin's power. Later, when King Zhao of Qin, Ying, became king, his queen, Empress Yang, was also from the Chu royal Mi family. Therefore, the influence of the Mi family remained very strong in Qin. When King Zhao's son, Prince Ngua, ascended the throne, his queen, Lady Huayang, was also a member of the Chu Mi family. The Mi family's influence in the Qin state continued to deepen. However, Lady Huayang did not have any children, and ultimately, she adopted Ying as her son. Although she was the Empress Dowager, because she had no biological son to succeed the throne, the power of the Mi family was temporarily suppressed. But during the reign of Qin Shi Huang, the Chu origin Mi family rose once again. Lord Mi Qi of Chongping became the prime minister of the Qin state, and his rise brought new hope to the Mi family. However, what troubled Qin Shi Huang was that after the Qin state conquered Chu, Mi Qi was appointed as the new king of Chu by Xiang Yan. This event made Qin Shi Huang deeply uneasy, and the rebellion of the empress family's power made him feel disheartened. Mi Qi's mother was the daughter of King Zhao of Qin, and his father was King Cao Lai of Chu. Therefore, Mi Qi had both Qin and Chu bloodlines. This situation forced Qin Shi Huang to reconsider how to control the power of the empress family. Ultimately, he chose to place the empress family and the royal family on the same level to prevent them from interfering in the government again. He decided not to establish an empress, perhaps to avoid the interference of the empress family's power. In addition, Qin Shi Huang hoped that the dynasty he established would operate on the principle of, the capable shall take charge, without being influenced by familial ties. To achieve this, he implemented the county system to centralize power and ensure that national governance would not be swayed by family relations. However, reality was often more complicated. In Chinese traditional culture, kinship relations were very important, and many matters depended on networks of relationships. Ultimately, Qin Shi Huang's Great Qin Empire collapsed in just 15 years, and his successor, Liu Bang, was a person who understood the relationship approach very well. He implemented the feudal system and consolidated his power through marriage alliances, eventually establishing the more stable Han dynasty. According to some historians, after Qin Shi Huang, Ying executed the powerful minister Lao Ai, he relocated his mother, Zhao Ji, to the Shiyang palace and issued a harsh order: anyone who dares to advise the Empress Dowager shall be killed. Their back will be plowed open, their limbs cut off, and their body placed at the palace gates. By that time, 27 people had already been killed for attempting to offer counsel. Soon after, a man named Mao Jiao from Qi requested an audience with Ying. Ying sent someone to ask him, "Are you here to advise the Empress Dowager?" Mao Jiao replied, "Yes." The attendant returned and reported this to Ying, who responded, "Go tell him, hasn't he seen the bodies of the dead piled at the palace gates?" The attendant passed on the message to Mao Jiao, who answered, "I've heard there are 28 constellations in the sky, and now 27 of them are dead. I am here to make up the number. I am not afraid of death, go tell Ying." When the attendant relayed Mao Jiao's words to Ying, the emperor flew into a furious rage and shouted, "This man is deliberately challenging my decree. Go and boil some water to cook him." Zheng was so enraged that he foamed at the mouth and drew his sword, sitting there in a fit of fury. At this point, the attendant brought Mao Jiao into the palace. Mao Jiao said to Zheng, "Your Majesty, tearing apart your false father is jealousy, throwing your two brothers to their deaths is cruelty, relocating your mother is unfilial, using brutal punishment to kill those who advise you is the behavior of tyrants like Jia and Zhou. The people of the world know this, and Qin will soon face ruin. With no one supporting you. I fear Qin will be destroyed, and I am truly anxious for you. I have said what I needed to say, now please execute me." After saying this, Mao Jiao removed his clothes and knelt in front of the execution block. Zheng immediately stood up from his throne, helped Mao Jiao to his feet, and waved for those present to step back, saying, "Quickly release him, let him put on his clothes. I wish to listen to your words." He then immediately appointed Mao Jiao as the Zhongfu, Prime Minister, and gave him the title of Shangqing, Top Minister, while also bringing his mother, Zhao Ji, back to the palace. Furthermore, after Qin Shi Huang unified the 6 states, to prevent rebellions, he ordered the confiscation of all weapons and the creation of 12 large bronze statues known as the 12 Golden Men. It is said that these golden men were used to collect the metals of the world. And some believe they were made from the 9 cauldrons cast by the legendary Emperor Yu. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.